Okay, so this is the first video on the graphing functions, and what we're going to do here is we're going to take the product sales data we've seen before, where we have 5 different products, and we have sales from January to December for each, and we're going to convert it into a simple line graph, so we can see how the products are doing relative to one another over time. So we can see here, for example, product E, sales relatively declining a little bit. The others may be relatively constant. So just a very, very simple line graph. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to basically select everything. And that's kind of, if I'm doing graphs in Excel, that's generally what I would do, is I kind of bring the data in, and then sometimes you have to mess around with the data series a little bit. You have to kind of add and remove things. It's pretty intelligent, but it doesn't always work out. So in the Insert tab, we have lots of different charts. We actually have a specific for line charts here. And you can actually see as you kind of go along the different types of charts. Now, we just want the simple line chart. The others are kind of stacked where things are on top of each other. So we're just going to stick with the very simple 2D line chart at the moment. And you can, of course, just play around with these things. And, that's the best way to learn. So, when you're doing this, just try all the different types of charts. And then, voila, we have the chart. Just show you a few things. If you right click, you get select data. And that will actually tell us that we have series for product A, B, C, D, and E. And again, intelligently, Excel put the first column as a category axis. This doesn't always work out correctly, and sometimes you have to manually mess around with this, but this time it worked out perfectly. If you go to the top now, you'll see you have some extra tabs. You've got chart design and you have format. Let's just go with the chart design. Firstly, we have a chart title, so let's just kind of double click on that, and then we'll type in the chart title, which is monthly product sales. Now, what we could do is we could add some different elements to the chart. And you can see here are the different elements that we might want to add. And we'll go through some of the other ones later. And again, you can just play around a little bit with this. But let's just add some axis titles. So primary, go to add chart element, axis titles, primary vertical. And we'll just call this one sales. And then down here, we're just going to call the X one. We're just going to call this one month. So we're pretty much done. We can make it a little bit bigger. Now we can play around a little bit with the formatting. You can see we have different chart styles here. So we could have a few fancy ones. We could have ones with kind of thatched backgrounds. We could have ones with no background. So again, that's horrible. That's just too much information. You see you've got ones where you've got the numbers on there. Let's just stick with a basic one at the moment. There's also like a little quick layout function where we can, it will actually have different ways of laying out and putting in data and data tables. And that just kind of combines the layout with different ways of kind of having legends and different types of graphs. But I rarely use that. I like to kind of add things manually. Okay, so you've created, let's just check it's the same. It's pretty much the same. You created your we're gonna make the title bolded. There we go. Just double select it and Control B for bold, or select that, and we have our chart.